Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about motherhood, we talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of eco-friendly, kind of natural. We keep things positive. I made a positive mindset guide. It was the guide that I needed 4 years ago when I was just like, I didn't enjoy motherhood. When will my life get back to normal? And it took me a long time to realize that it's not going to. And then I had to learn how to enjoy what I had. So if that resonates with you at all, please go check it out. It's heyshayla.com/shop. If you are into any of that, learning about motherhood, doing it kind of granola. Someone said, I'm not granola and I still like your channel. So even if you're not granola, welcome. And if you are not new here, thank you for coming back. I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 5-month-old. And today I'm gonna talk about why I started watching Lord of the Rings with my husband. And I promise there's like an actual reason that I'm sharing this. It's not just like, cool, Shayla, like I like watching shows with my husband too. Like, no, I promise, because Lord of the Rings is not my jam. Like, my husband and I even traveled to New Zealand in a van for 2 months when we were dating. He was like, Lord of the Rings was filmed here. This is amazing. I guess he, like, in the army, he read all of the books or something. I'm just like, okay, nerd. But he was so excited in New Zealand about, like, that we were in the Hobbit place and, like, there was a hike that was the same as Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I didn't get it. I wasn't interested. He started rewatching these in the van at night and I just did something else even though we were laying right next to each other. It just wasn't interesting to me. And this is just my personal experience, right? Like, I hope that you get nuggets of this. You might not relate to all of it, but I hope that there's nuggets of it that you can take with your relationship. One thing that has always stuck with me, I've got 2 aunts. One aunt and her partner travel everywhere together. Happy. The other aunt and her partner go on trips separately. Like, he goes on trips, she goes on trips, they're happy. There's 1,000 ways to do things right? That's kind of like my motto here. I'm just gonna share this with you and you take it as you want. Before we get started, because I like to just start jiving. I like to just start talking about what I want to talk about and keep moving. So we're going to talk about the sponsor, LMNT. LMNT is an electrolyte company. If you want to try any of these, this is the free sample pack that you get. It has all of the flavors. Unflavored, good for smoothies. Grapefruit and citrus, which are my favorite. Orange, which is my husband's favorite. Mango chili, little spice. Watermelon and raspberry, both a little bit sweeter. And chocolate. It took me a while to understand how to use the chocolate properly because I would always do just one water bottle of these a day. And I'm like, well, I like the flavored water. I don't want the chocolate. I stopped drinking caffeinated coffee. So I would have my first decaf coffee, and then when I wanted my second decaf coffee, I would do a half of these as like a warm beverage, and then I would have a half a grapefruit one in my water later. Or if I was feeling wild and needed lots of electrolytes, I would just do 2. So if you need a second cup of coffee that's not a cup of coffee, try the chocolate. If you're working out and you're just like, I need something that like replenishes me better, please try this out. Or if you're just a breastfeeding mom that feels like you need to stay hydrated, try it. Go to drinklmnt.com/heyshayla and you will get this free sample pack. So like, pick a flavor and then try that chocolate one. All right, let's get into this. My husband and I, we just had our 3rd kid and we were doing like the roommate, like 2 ships passing in the night. And what I mean by that is like, we're both like at our capacity. He goes to work, is there for a long time, comes home and like gets full on dad mode. Like, he is the best. He comes home and he just like shoves it all down, like all the tiredness and whatever, so he can be a great dad and do bedtime and go to bed. I am like doing momming all day and then I get a break to work and then I go back to momming. So it's like we're both just working and parenting. There's no like chill off time. I noticed that I was just like, I felt like I wasn't connecting with him enough. And he's like, really? I feel fine. And I'm like, no. If we're not like just, I'm the person that is like clingy. It's like stage 5 clinger. Like, I just want to be with you all the time and talk to you all the time and tell you everything that I ever wanted to know. And he's like, I love hearing all these things, but like, can we have a conversation too? He felt like we were doing great. And I just felt like we weren't connecting. I felt like he wasn't like noticing the things that I was doing. Like, I cleaned the whole house. If I was feeling like overly tired, I wanted him to say, hey, maybe you should go take a nap. Maybe you should go for a walk. Couldn't ask for it. It's a bizarre thing that I'm still working on, like 4 years into having kids, to ask for help. I feel like he should offer it to me. But then I was like, do I ever offer that to him? Never. I'm never like, maybe you should go take a nap, or do you want to sleep in tomorrow? Or like, I just don't do it. So I was like, maybe the things that I want him to do for me, I should do for him. So like, for example, my interests, took me a long time to figure out what this was. I love yoga. I can't wait to get back to yoga. Like, the hot yoga, it's just so good. It's how I started this channel. I was Yoga Shay. Then I started traveling, led a couple of yoga retreats, did the yoga thing, and then like traveled and became a mom or whatever. But like, yoga is so, I just love it. And if he was like, hey, let's go to a yoga class together. You want to go to a yoga class with me? you want to go to a yoga class with me? Okay. Or like I started doing sourdough and I was like the homemaker and like had needed an apron and like a dress. I was winging it because I wing everything. But if he had been like, hey, well, what's this process like? How do you do this sourdough? Like this is a hobby for me, but I don't know if it's just because I like other people so much or if I like to teach. But if he had been like, so how does this work? I'd been like, let me tell you. I want to show you, I just want to tell you everything. I'm on like the non-tox thing where I'm like, oh, we're going to do natural fibers. Oh, we need to make sure that we have non-toxic things at our house. If he started to like send me things that, no, actually this one, I'm glad that he's kind of on board. Like he's obvious, like most people, they're like, yeah, we don't want to have toxic stuff. But he also is like a little bit of my like, he doesn't let me go too crazy. So if I'm like, well, Seth, there's this on this, I don't know about this. He's like, okay, let's talk about it. I think it's fine. Like, okay, the yin yang, right? Like, you need that person to be like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay that they had a little bit of sugar. It's fine. It's okay that not everything they eat is organic. It's fine. It'll be okay. Like, would it be better if it was? Of course. But, like, if it's not, I need to get my anxiety in check, and that helps me. Or just, like, books I read. I'm always like, in this book that I'm reading, if you ever want to read it, just let me know. I'll let you log into my Audible. You can read it. He's like, no thanks. So when I realized that I wanted him to be a little more interested in my things, I was like, well, he's pretty busy. He probably doesn't want to. I realized that I am not interested at all in his things. So here I go. Have I done it for him? Have I noticed that he's cleaned the house and said something about it? Have I noticed that he's tired from his shift work and that maybe I should let him sleep in tomorrow, even though I think I deserve to sleep in? He also deserves to sleep in because he's working and then dadding and then sleeping and then, hey, do you want to sleep in tomorrow? And you know how good it felt to like offer that to him? He was like, yeah, sure. Okay. Do you want to go to the gym alone today and not bring the kids and just go to your gym thing? Yeah. It started to feel really good. Then I was like, hey, Seth, do you want to watch Lord of the Rings? And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, I mean, I know you really like it. Aren't there like 500 movies? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, do you want to start just like watching them on our days that we get, like, that's how we have dates now. And I love it. It's like, I've accepted that that's how we do dates, and it's like, okay, when the kids go to bed, we get to stay up for a little bit. We like have a time limit of how long we stay up, but we stay up and we watch a show together. And so instead of watching things about aliens, which we're both, he was interested in, and he watched it, and then I was just like, what? These aliens, the big people, and the things that he watches, I'm genuinely interested in, so it's cool. Lord of the Rings, I was like, people love this. There has to be a good plot. It has to be fine. So we're 2 movies in, and these movies are like 17 hours long, and there's 9 of them. And I'm liking it. I feel like if you actually get into it and you actually invest in it and whatever, you start to like it. And he thinks it's fantastic. He's like, this is so, it's like me, if he were to come to yoga, I'd be like, yeah, sure, you can, I'm gonna keep my cool here, but like, I'm so glad that you're coming. So we've been watching Lord of the Rings, and I did the same thing with gaming. He games. If I knew that he was a gamer when we started dating, that may have been a deal breaker. So I'm glad I didn't know, because I'm glad I'm with him even though he games. It really got solidified. He like dabbled in it when we dated, and then when COVID hit and I was pregnant and there was like no leaving, I feel like that's when everybody really got into gaming, and I was just like, this is terrible. But he loves it. If you are with a gamer, they'll be gaming, and he does Call of Duty. They'll be gaming, and you'll be like, excuse me, and he'll be like, and just like giving me this like look, like what? So finally I was like, just tell me what's going on. Explain to me this game a little bit, because I used to be an avid Mario. I'd play Super Mario Brothers, so I like understand gaming. So I was like, explain this to me so that I know like what's going on in the game. So now I know when they're in the inner circle. I know how many people are left in the game and when like absolutely not to talk to him. Or I can look and be like, okay, this is how many people are left in the game. The game will probably be over soon. I'll ask him then. And it's just respecting your partner's interests. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna bend my world around so that he can game. Like, no, that's his thing that he likes to do. Cool. Like, if I was in the middle of my workout and he was like, hey, Shay, can you come upstairs? And I'd be like, what? Wait. Leave me alone. So that helped a lot. So now I go and I'll be like, oh my gosh, there's only 3 people left. You're almost there. If I don't say anything, because I could interrupt him, I can like celebrate. Oh, you won? So like understanding their hobbies and their interests and acknowledging the things that they do, I think is really, really helpful. And it feels good for me. Workouts though, he's like an avid worker-outer. I cannot wait till the day that we can like go into the gym as a family. Like we're all gonna walk in, put the kids in daycare for a bit, go work out together, but like we won't work out together because Seth, when he does things, he does it at 150%. Like if he doesn't want to barf at the end of the workout, he didn't do enough. I'm like a good 80%er. Like, whoo, I'm sweating. Like, that was good. I feel good about that. I sweated a little bit. 80%er. He's a 150. He wants everyone to do 150, and if he doesn't, he's just kind of like, ugh. So I'll work out next to him, but I don't want to work out with him on everything. So I think that's what I want to say about that. I think basically the point is I've been trying to invest in my relationship by investing in what they're interested in. And some people aren't going to like this. Like, they're going to be making the sourdough and being like, please just let me have one thing to myself. Don't ask me how this works. I'm not that person. I'm like, do you want to know? You don't? Okay. So obviously tailor this to your partner, but I do think just acknowledging when they're trying, or when, wow, thanks for giving the kids a bath, or whatever, things that you shouldn't have to thank them for. Just let them know you're grateful for it. If he came home and he was like, thanks for being home with the kids all day, I'd be like, you don't need to thank me for that, but thanks for thanking me, because that means a lot, thanks. You know? It feels good to be thanked for the things you shouldn't be thanked for. Think about the things that you wish your partner would do for you, and then see if you can do that for your partner. Think about their interests. Think about the things that they're doing. It takes a lot. Like, we're pretty stretched right now, all of us, with young children. And sometimes the relationship takes a back burner because we're married and we're locked in. And like, that's not going anywhere. And maybe it's not, but you just still want to just enjoy your relationship. That's all I have to say about that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.